We're going to take a look, review assignment, module 3, module 3 review assignment. Here's what we have. We have Evergreen Claim Center. So we are dealing with the call center. They're trying to record hold time. Your customer calls in and how long they wait and what's the call time, how many agents you have on call, things like that. Let's take a look. So claims and a log, uh, column B, call center open. So how long the call center open? 10 hours. Then total calls. That's basically calculating using column F, which is call placed. Then you divide by number of hours, which is 10 hours. So that's what you got in B7, B10, whole time goal. That's the goal of this call center, trying to make it 20 seconds. But anything above, then is fail. They try to make it as close as possible to 20 seconds. Average hold time 29.69 using column H, which is hold time they calculated. Okay. Matter of fact, why don't we go back to hold time and the calculation starting from column H. Okay. I'm kind of jumping back and forth from the textbook, from the page. So, if you don't mind, you can go back and forth. All right, column H, hold time. Trying to calculate how many seconds this particular call had, given those call placed and call answered, right? So what you're doing is just subtract it. Subtract F5 from G5. Then you need to multiply by 24 by 60 by 60 because what you get is just hour format. Actually, hour format. So you multiply by 24 so that you can change then back to seconds and multiply by 60 by 60 based on description in the step. All right, so missed this whole time goal. Here's what we're trying to do. Column I, we're trying to see whether this has this particular call, which is claim 22515, has been missed the goal or not. If it's missed, we're going to place it on one, number one, otherwise zero, so that they can count number of misses entire records. So as you can see, you go 1111, and you also get zero. So that's basically meeting the whole time, which is 20 seconds. So one appears, misses uh, the goal, which is 20 seconds. So to do that, we use the if function. So let me show you formula view. If function using column H, specifically H5 in this case. H5 is greater than hold time, which is 20 seconds, then it'll give you 1, otherwise 0. Okay, so that's basically the syntax of the if function. So this is very convenient function. Anytime you want to test certain condition based on certain items, so you don't have to do it manually. So all you do is just use an if function so that you can apply to hundreds of thousands of cells, pretty quickly. Then we have call completed, so that we can calculate the call duration, because call answered is G5, then call completed uh, J5. So difference between these two, becomes call duration. Then you need to multiply by 24 by 60 because that's again the hour format. And now round up to integer, the nearest integer. So that's why we have in round up. And at the end, we got 0 indicating integer. Cumulative, that's what we call, that's how we're gonna add them up. Okay. Add, first one is L5. So L5 just adding itself. There's only one value, but when it comes to L5, L6, now you are adding 21, 38. And right below, you're adding those three, 21, 38, 70. And same thing, L8, adding those four, including 107. So that's what uh, cumulative calculation. So the way you want to do is rather than just doing manually, adding uh, one by one, you're using sum. Within parentheses, you have yourself, which is the first one. Then the let me start from the L4, L5 actually. Okay. Then you can autofill all the way down. Okay. So that's the idea. So K5 to K5, meaning that first K5 would absolute cell reference with dollar sign indicating that K5 stays all the time, even though you copy to other cells. But the second K5 will change it to K6, K7, K8 as you copy to other cells. Okay. So that's the idea of using this format. All right, so that's how we calculate it in columns. Then back to the statistical calculations. And pretty straightforward starting B10, hold time goal was 20 second, average hold time just using average and using median, using mode single, which is the value appears most often, which is 32 seconds, then minimum, maximum. Same thing, call duration, this time using column K, and average, median, mode, minimum, maximum. Okay. Then last three values at the bottom, we're gonna calculate total agent time, which means which is just sum of call duration located in column K. Okay. Because that's the minutes we divide by 60. So that's what we have. But you want to show as a integer, so that's why we have round up and 0 at the end. Then we have workload per hour. So we take total agent time, then divide by B5, which is uh, number of hours open, which is 10 hours. So you got 54.3. The last one at the bottom, which is hold time failure rate, and take you take a you take a number of failure failing calls actually, column I. So you just find all the sum of these number ones. Okay, then you divide by total calls, which is 1,283, and the failure rate is 83%, which is very high, right? So that's based on the description in the steps. Okay. Then we have staffing calculator, which is given already. So already given So we don't have to do anything. The claims conclusion, that's something we need to work on. So just some numbers are given already, like customer calls 129 per hour, available agent 60, desired hold time 20 seconds that we knew already before, call duration 26 minutes, and call duration in hours, right? That's 0.43 because you divide by 60. Then we're going to calculate workload per hour. So you take a B5, which is customer call, multiply by customer call duration, right? And that'll give you 55.9 agent hours, meaning that 93% of agent are occupied, right? Because you divide by B6, which is the available agent, which is 60. Okay, here comes the kind of main function they use in module 3, which is VLOOKUP, right? So using VLOOKUP, we try to find the probability of waiting on hold. Idea is somebody just calls in, then what's the probability of this call will be on hold? And that actually based on number of agents. If number of agent is like 56, as you can see here, column E, then we have all the way to 82. That based on, I think, their statistics or history of this company. So they already have the numbers figured. So if you have agent 56, the hold probability will be 98.39. Expect the hold time 1,530. That's 15,000. That's very long. Failure rate is almost 98%, and so forth. But as you move on to 82 number of agents, then things are getting better, right? Hold probabilities is dramatically lowered, as well as expected hold time and so forth. So that's what we're going to use based on what what we have calculated. So the number we're going to use is uh, 60 agent, right? 60 agents given. That's what we are using right now. Then based on 60 agent, what's all the probability, what's the expected hold time and all that, because it's already given. But you can tell by looking at it, but we want to use the VLOOKUP so that we can always apply this VLOOKUP to any circumstances without doing manually, because you know you can always make a mistake by doing manually. So anyway, using VLOOKUP, okay, using B6, so that B6 is fixed because we're going to copy this VLOOKUP to other cells. Again, that's the absolute cell reference. Then lookup area, we lookup table is B E5 to H32 in this area, main area. Okay, and then followed by number 2, meaning column number, meaning that we have 1, 2, 3, 4 columns in the lookup range, but we are looking at column 2. So this value will be retrieved for VLOOKUP. False, that's another syntax you need to have at the end, either false or true. And default is false, meaning that each value, which is the leftmost position of the lookup table corresponding, have only one value returned. Meaning that, let's say 56 agent is there, then the corresponding value for this is only 989.39, right? There's no other value will matching this 56. The Column 3 only one again. Column 4 there's only one value matched to 56. But some other circumstances you may have multiple values will be matched to 56. Okay, then you're gonna have to have a true in this position. Okay, so that's the what we call approximate match. So I'm gonna explain approximate match and uh, exact match another time because we're gonna use VLOOKUP over and over. Okay, but in this case we're gonna have to have a false because this is case of uh, exact match. So that's what we have. Only difference here is in B17 is just column index number because the column 3, position 3 will be used and the value will be returned. Then say, okay. All right, so that's two VLOOKUPs. Then expected hold time in terms of minutes. So we have seconds above, then we're going to convert to the minutes, then you divide by 60. Then here comes the hold time failure rate, which is located in column H. That's what we are seeing here. And the column index number is number 4 out of this lookup table. Okay. And hold time failure rate is 45%. That's pretty high, still very high, even though in agent number is 60. So idea is you want to increase the agent number, right, gradually. So that's the idea. But again, not all companies are willing to do it or can afford to do it. So that's how you're going to conclude in this area in the note. Okay. So if you have any questions about this, let me know, and we'll see you in uh, another